What's going on, YouTube? Redskins fans unite, back here for the first time in 6 months with another video. And rather than fill you guys in on what you missed, because you guys have probably had your own ways of keeping up to date with the Redskins and NFL action, I'm just going to get right to the point. So Carson Wentz out for 6 weeks with a broken finger. Pretty similar in nature to the injury that Dak Prescott suffered, because, of course, his hand got hit as he was making a little short passing motion, and it was like an awkward high five. I know I used to get a lot of those back freshman year of high school. That's a story for another time, but Wentz, unfortunately, is going to be out. So we're going to be without our starting fullback, if you guys know what I'm talking about there. If you know, you know. But, of course, that means that Taylor Heinicke is now going to be the starting quarterback for the foreseeable future. And while I was certainly upset that we replaced Heinicke with Wentz, I wasn't upset that we I sort of was questionable as to the Sam Howell draft choice as I was to Brian Robinson and Jahan Dotson. By the way, I gotta give a quick shout out to B-Rob for all that he's been through. I know I criticized him as a draft choice because I didn't think we necessarily needed, a running back in the third round, but he's certainly proven that he adds an element to this offense in a true power back with a good burst, and we're only seeing that getting better and better every week. So big props to B-Rob for staying tough and really proving just how much he loves this game and how much he's willing to put on the line for this city. So, back to Taylor Heinicke, though. While I again was upset about him being replaced by Wentz, I got over it. It wasn't nearly as upset as little 15-year-old me was about RG3's career being ruined before my very eyes. But, again, Wentz, what can you say about him? He was put in a pretty unfavorable situation. His offense, the Scott Turner offense, I'm still not completely sold on it because, of course, he loves to scheme every single gosh darn play to either Curtis Samuel or J.D. McKissick, taking nothing away from those guys. It just gets really predictable after a while. And we saw that in the Titans game. We certainly saw that in the Eagles and Cowboys games. But, this offense needs an element of versatility, and Taylor Heinicke provides a little bit better improvisation, I think, than Carson Wentz when you consider the value. Taylor himself said in a press conference, hey, I'm getting paid $2 million. This guy is getting paid, almost $30 million. Naturally, he's not expected to do as much as Carson Wentz. What Taylor Heinicke is expected to do is simply take care of the football and make plays when he needs to. And he's a guy that can do that. He just, last year, down the stretch, just made way too many careless turnovers. And by that point, I had kind of lost a little bit of faith in him. But, again, he had barely had any real NFL experience prior to the 2020 season where he came in relief of Alex Smith. So let's give the guy credit where credit is due. And looking ahead, we've got Green Bay coming up on Sunday. That's actually going to be a game taking place on my birthday. Not that I think I'm going to get a very good present out of it, but the last time we played the Pack, I believe, was in Dwayne Haskins. May he rest in peace. I believe that was his rookie year in 2019. If I'm forgetting a game, then please forgive me. But that was actually a pretty close game in Lambeau. And I think the game is in FedEx. Not that that really matters because there's no such thing as home field advantage when opposing teams' fans can literally overrun our home stadium. But Taylor Heinicke, if he could play as well as he did in the playoffs against the Bucs, not that I'm trying to live in the past, but if he could, showcase that dog mentality and really ignite that nose for the end zone and dial up a few deep balls to Terry McLaurin, who needs more targets, by the way, then there's a real chance that this game is going to be close. And obviously, Green Bay is not invincible. We just saw the Jets demolish them. And nobody saw anything in the Jets really heading into this season besides maybe a few Jet fan friends of mine up here in good old upstate New York. But yeah, just wanted to touch base again with the YouTube verse. Hope you guys are all doing well. The morale, it's pretty meh right now, I'd estimate, within the Washington fan base, because of course we're still not completely out of the water. We're still in last place in this division. We've got 2 games to make up on the Cowboys, and we're 4 games behind Philly for the lead. And time is starting to become of the essence, because if we can't start getting wins again that we're not supposed to get, then we're not going to get to the threshold where we need to be, which I think is at least the 9-8, 10-7 threshold. That's around what I thought this team was capable heading of into this season. More so like an 8. You see, because my mind is still wired into the old NFL where there were just 16 games. So I'm like, oh, this looks like an 8-8 team. But I think their ceiling is a little bit higher. Their floor is obviously much, much lower. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and comment your thoughts if you have any. And subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys later. Hail!